Well, a very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the EUBC Junior European Championships from the Georgian Olympic Centre here in Tbilisi, Georgia, where we've got an action-packed afternoon coming your way of men's boxing action from these Junior Boxing Championships. We'll be starting, of course, with the pin weight this afternoon, the 44 to 46 kilo category. But there are plenty of bouts to get through in this afternoon's session, a total of 14. So stick with us throughout the action here as we bring you all of the coverage of the semi-finals this afternoon from the men's events. RENAT CHUBREVYCHEV making his way towards the red corner into the ring for the first bout of men's action this afternoon from the pin category. The Ukrainian, who is a one-time champion of Ukraine, he'll be very pleased already with his exploits this week here in Tbilisi, Georgia. Every fighter that takes part today already guaranteed $1,000 for finishing in bronze, whether they win or lose their semi-final today. VIACHESLAV ROGOZIN, the Russian boxer, looking very keen and eager to get to his corner, almost skipping across to it. He looks really up for this afternoon's opening bout. ROGOZIN, a champion of Russia in 2021 already this year. Only started boxing back in 2019. Taking on an opponent from the Ukraine that started his boxing career back in 2016, so a little bit more experience perhaps for the man in the red corner this afternoon. Some last checks from the corners to get the two contenders ready for this bout, and a place in the final coming up on Sunday on offer for one of these two. A touch of the gloves, a final word from either coach, and we can get semi-finals day underway here from the pin category. RENAT CHUBREVYCHEV in the red corner, and those bright fluorescent yellow shoes, taking on the Russian ROGOZIN, who is commanding the ring in the early stages. Nice little left there, squeezing round the corner though from the Ukrainian. He's trying to get in close and use that left whenever he can, but a good volley from the Russian coming back the other way. And a lively start already as both boxers certainly willing to throw punches early. Nice work of the body up in close as they clench in. 3 2-minute rounds. These fights are going to be fast and furious as you'd expect. And once more the man in blue starting to throw punches and trying to find a way through, and you just feel right now that he's got the upper hand over the Ukrainian. Certainly far more aggressive, the Russian. Lovely head movement, although I think he was just caught there by a left coming straight onto him. He's able to walk through the punches, though, that his opponent is able to connect with. It's another good right from the Ukrainian, but it doesn't seem to thwart the Russian at all. Up close again, and you can see that CHUBREVYCHEV just trying to throw him away and get that distance once more before preparing another ray of blows down on his opponent. Another slightly wild swing that from ROGOZIN. Oh, that's a good left that just lands on the chin of the Russian. Strong, both of these two right up in each other's faces in this first round. And certainly entertaining from the outset here in Tbilisi. A difficult one to score. It's gone the way of the Ukrainian that first round, though. I think he did just land cleaner shots on the chin at times of his opponent, but the aggression was still there from the Russian. He may feel that that could have gone his way on another afternoon. I have to say, my Russian isn't what it used to be, but you can just see Rogozin's trainer, Mr. Pebensky, just having a word with him about watching out for the right hand and saying he needs to get more of those combinations coming forward rather than just one hit and then backing off again. And round two gets underway. The Ukrainian in red, ahead on points. Another aggressive start from the Russian, though. Another right hand just connects with him to move him back slightly and keep his pressure at bay as he looks to get in close. Once again, CHUBREVYCHEV just looking to maintain a bit of distance, avoid those striking blows when he comes in and time his punches well. It's a good right hand straight through the middle, but allows the Russian to clench up. Again with that right straight, gets through the defences of the man in blue easily. Left hand catches, another left hand catches. You have to say that the Ukrainian is doing well just to maintain that distance, and when they clench up, there's no opportunity to get any punches in for the Russian. And every time he leans forward, CHUBREVYCHEV is just looking to time a straight right or that left hook. That's what the Russian wants, to be able to dodge away from those blows and then get inside. He's the one being the aggressor. He's the one trying to minimize that distance. And that's the end of round two. Another close round that certainly started, you feel, in the Ukrainians' favour. CHUBREVYCHEV. And you get the feeling that the judges are scoring it that way as well. There's very little between these two boxers, though. It's just the almost fluidity of movement that CHUBREVYCHEV has when he steps away from the advances of Rogozin. Knows he's got a little bit of extra reach, but he makes it look very easy as he just glides around the outside of the ring. Round 3 of 3 then, as they touch gloves and go to blows once more. And again, it's the fighter in blue, aggressive from the outset, getting forward and getting inside. And again, CHUBREVYCHEV just stepping away. A couple of wild swings from both fighters there. A little right just catches the Russian round the side of the face, but not too much power or pop in the right hand blow that caught. Another nice bit of head movement from CHUBREVYCHEV, just ducking underneath. Once more, Rogozin being asked to keep the head up by the referee. Has slowed down slightly now. The Russian looks a little tired at times, just desperate to try and get anything on here as they're locked together. Another right pop from CHUBREVYCHEV. I have to say, the Ukrainian's been very impressive in this bout. Only about 20 seconds remaining in this final round. 20 seconds for perhaps something special needed from the Russian. Lovely little combination that catches the fighter in blue round the face. The Ukrainian now is looking really confident. Look, he's toying and teasing with his opponent in the dying embers of that third round. And CHUBREVYCHEV exuding confidence at the end of that bout. Full credit to VIACHESLAV ROGOZIN and the way he conducted himself in that bout. He was very aggressive from the get-go, was really doing his best to get inside and avoid the reach of his opponent. Just slightly delayed in getting his gloves off as he will make his way to the center of the ring, and we will have the official announcement. And it is CHUBREVYCHEV. And a very confident performance as well. Frustration for the Russian, but it will be the Ukrainian that goes into the final. And very, very impressive indeed. In a moment we will find out who his opponent is going to be, as the fights come thick and fast here this afternoon from Tbilisi, Georgia, from the Junior European Boxing Championships. Even enough time for the Ukrainian to stand and have a quick pose. AYVAZYAN makes his way to the ring to take on ERIK ARSTAMYAN. The Armenian in the red corner, the Georgian Gore in the blue. And how much would the youngster love to see himself in the final on home soil on Sunday? Gore, who's been boxing for a number of years already. Been to the European Championships before, of course. Taking on the two-time champion of Armenia in ARSTAMYAN. But you know that Gore is going to have the home crowd here inside this wonderful Georgian Olympic Centre fully behind him. Gore just waiting patiently for everything to be set up in the Armenian's corner. Last couple of words from his trainers. ARSTAMYAN now to wait, as there's just going to be a need to just wipe down the Georgian before we get round one underway. Round one of three, these 2-minute rounds. Look at the intensity that ARSTAMYAN stepped into the center of the ring before this bout. Looks really up for it. As round one gets underway, then the Georgian Gore in the blue corner. ARSTAMYAN in the red corner for Armenia. Might just have to try and get inside the Armenian. As Gore has a little more reach and they both start flying and flinging punches all over the place straight away. That's a good left that catches Gore. And the Armenian, we spoke about the intensity that he seemed to have in his corner, and just before when these two fighters met in the middle before round one began, and he started with that intensity. It's a good defensive stance as well. Nothing's getting through from those blue fists of Gore. He's trying to be physical, ARSTAMYAN, and almost move physically Gore around the ring at will. That little stockiness that he's got, very useful indeed. Gore slightly lighter on the feet, staying on the toes, but he is taking a fair few punches. ARSTAMYAN told to keep that head up. And the pace was never going to last from what we had from the opening 10 seconds of the round, but it just picks up again with the Armenian again getting aggressive and quick with those hands. And they continue to try and trade blows from close quarters. It's an all-out brawl at times, this one. Gore just staying on the outside, stuck in the middle of the ring, being controlled by the Armenian. Now the Georgian tries to push forward and get himself, but he's forced back once more to the outside. Oh, that's a good ride as well that staggers Gore back into the ropes. A confident finish to round one. And the man in red, ERIK ARSTAMYAN, really putting on a good show early on. It's fairly even on the scorecard as well. 5 judges, of course, ringside for this. Gore's resiliency, and obviously managed to land some punches of his own, but it did seem like the Armenian was far more confident and landed a few more convincing blows, particularly that last one right at the end of the round. It's about the whole 2 minutes though, rather than just the last few seconds and the first few seconds. And round two gets underway. And that's more confident from Gore initially. And two almost locking horns and trading blows once again. More punches being thrown this time by the Georgian. As the Armenian just flinging the fist slightly, trying to throw punches, but also just keep those hands away. Interesting still though that Gore is getting pushed to the outside, his head being down slightly, and look again. They're like two butting stags in this ring. Trying to find a way through the Armenian's defences as he tries to keep those hands firm in front of his head and then strike blows himself. Neither fighter seems to want to have any distance, both just trying to go head to head constantly. The Georgian back into the ropes once more. Doesn't stop his determination. Both fighters, you can see already, look fairly tired at the moment. That's a good solid right hand from the Armenian boxer. He did find a way through, and he gets a couple more that just once more shove the hometown hero backwards. Gore now trying to reverse the tables and move his opponent onto the ropes, but he's back on the outside once again. at times this is just a slugfest. And round 2 is in the books and done and dusted. And there's a few cheers from the Georgians in the crowd. A very good round from the fighter in the blue corner. Again, did just take a couple of shots that came through midway through that round, but did a really good job. The Armenian not as clean with the contact he was making with his punches. So we go to the third and potentially pivotal round here. Both fighters just a little delayed in coming out from their corners, but round 3 finally gets underway. One of these fighters going to find themselves in Sunday's final, the other one walking away with $1,000 in their pocket. That's better again from Gore. A slip from the Armenian as he tries to rally back and start raining down the punches. Gore is more composed and controlled with his shots. The fists aren't as flailing as much. And then they get back to exchanging blows and butting heads once again. You can see the Georgians' corner just in front of us. I'm telling him to use that trunk to generate more power. Straight right from the fighter in red, trying to just get through the defensive hands of Gore. Nice bit of head movement, but you just see now that ARSTAMYAN seems to be slowing slightly. His punches aren't coming in the same amount of bunches as they were in this bout. Still about 45 seconds to go. Both of these fighters are giving it absolutely everything in this semi-final. A stumble. Back on his feet in red. Lovely movement by Gore to evade that contact. His corner wanted him to fire another volley. Again, the Armenian slips. He looks tired. He's taken another shot. Gore's stamina is coming through now. And you get the feeling these two in the final few seconds are just going to exchange blows now. So they keep trying to find some sort of clean connection with the fists flying around. The Armenians' corner look confident, but the home fans here also will feel that the fighter in blue has done enough. AYVAZYAN Gore will now just wait to see if he is going through to the final on Sunday. And it is the Georgian who will be celebrating and preparing for Sunday's final. A fine, determined effort from ARSTAMYAN, but it is Gore who is in the final of the pinweight on Sunday here in Tbilisi. And you can hear exactly what that means to the home fans here. A little bit of nastiness in the corner over there, but it's just frustration of two fighters that gave absolutely everything, and a fist pump as well from Gore. So the pinweight final is decided then. RENAT CHUBREVYCHEV taking on AYVAZYAN on Sunday. There's still plenty more action to come here though from Tbilisi. We've got the flyweight action up next from the men's competition here on Ring B. The 50-kilo fighters will be making their way to the ring in just a moment. So BERAT making his way to the ring, the Turkish fighter. MANASIKHIN NIKITA, the Russian, in the blue corner. He started boxing back in 2012, the Russian, from a very, very young age. Coach Kasimov Ravil will be guiding him in the corner. Champion of Russia this year already as well, Nikita. BERAT KARAARSLAN, the Turkish fighter. Started boxing back in 2013, only a year after his opponent today. Hasn't quite made a big impact on the Turkish domestic scene, but a great opportunity here for him to put himself in Sunday's final in the flyweight category. So Turkish fighter in the red corner, big fan of music apparently. Will it be a rock and roll bout for him, or the Russian, who in blue is more of a chess player as his hobbies apparently? Will he be treating it like a chess match and just trying to outthink his opponent in the ring in the next 3 rounds or so? Just a slight delay in getting this bout underway. And we can get going, as I say. BERAT KARAARSLAN in the red corner, the Turkish fighter. MANASIKHIN NIKITA in blue. Not as fast and furious to start as we've seen in the first 2 bouts this afternoon here in Tbilisi. Clash of heads there. Be thankful for the head guards, both of these 2 fighters. Good duck from the Turkish fighter. Just getting underneath and then having a nice counter punch as well with the right hand. And it is turning into a chess match, isn't it? There's a lot of patience between these 2 fighters, waiting to see how one goes and then the other reacts. Of course, there is more to think about when you're taking on a southpaw like the Turkish fighter. And waiting to try and find those opportunities and get around the outside of that guarding hand. So round one is a fairly patient affair, as I say. And Nikita seems to be the one that looks a little more confident back in his corner. Not too much between these two fighters, though. Bit of a G up from the Russian's corner. A few taps on the shoulders just to liven him up a bit. Again, almost the southpaw dance in the centre of the ring. A couple of good shots with the left hand from the Turkish fighter. There's a lovely follow-up, though, from the Russian. That right hand, quick as a flash as they came out of the clinch. Once again, trying to use that when they get in close together. As soon as they step away, just pop a right hand out at his opponent. And again. That straight right working nicely now for MANASIKHIN Nikita. Follows it up with a little left. Good head movement as well from the fighter in blue. Just getting down underneath those shots. That's a lovely left hand as well. There's a grimace on the face of the Turkish fighter there. He felt that left hand right on the jaw. You could hear the contact from the other side of the ring. Last few seconds of this round. 3 2-minute rounds, remember, here at the Junior European Boxing Championships in Georgia. And it is a Russian that is taking this semi-final bout by storm at the moment. MANASIKHIN Nikita has been so confident in that second round especially, and landed some very good shots too. As the 5 judges make their tallies on the second round, and once more it's the Russian that just looks a little more confident in his corner. That left that rattled the jaw of BERAT KARAARSLAN. You could see in his face the sting that it had. A real wince of pain. The eyes shut just for a moment. He might have to do something very special indeed to try and turn the tide in this bout. Round 3 of 3, a place in the final on Sunday on offer. Getting in close once again. Watch for the right hand as they come out from the Russian. He goes with the left this time, round the side. And a good right hand that connects square down the middle, right down Main Street. It's turning into a real slog for the fighter in red. Tagged round the side of the face with the left. Just slowly came round the corner. And again, good head movement from the Russian to duck underneath. Still need to see something more in this last 45 seconds or so. If there's going to be any chance of BERAT KARAARSLAN finding a way through to the final. Stellar performance here in Georgia already, but this might be one step too far right now. Looks far more tired than his opponent in blue, who's standing strong in the center of the ring, controlling this fight well. Final 10 seconds. Big left attempt from the Turkish fighter, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Disappointed, frustrated shake of the head from the Turkish fighter, who, as I say, has already booked himself a rather nice prize purse of $1,000 for his efforts here in Georgia at the EUBC European Junior Boxing Championships. Dominik Hektor from the Ukraine coming to the ring for the second semi-final from the flyweight category here at the EUBC Junior Boxing Championships in Tbilisi. As to the blue comes HARTSUYEU VITAS, the Belarusian fighter, who has been a 6-time champion of the Republic of Belarus. But he is taking on a champion of Ukraine, and a very formidable fighter indeed. Well, Dominik Hektor, the Ukrainian, just getting a head guard strapped on. Big fan of football and dancing. Well, dancing certainly going to do him some favours inside the ring. But the fighter he takes on from Belarus, who's been boxing now for 5 years. As I say, a fantastic reputation back in his home nation. A chance to make a big stand on the European stage. He's been a bronze medalist before. Can he go one step further and put himself in the final? There's a good contingent from Belarus, giving VITAS a lot of support. And that's a little better with the connection with the right hand from the Ukrainian. Who's then almost dragged through the ropes by his opponent. It's a little untidy, slightly scrappy in this opening round of 3. They only have 2 minutes to get the job done, and again it's more of a fling to the deck than anything else, as Hector's trying to say that he was having his head pushed down. Able to arch away from a couple of blows from the man in red, a left and a right, quickly ducked away on the ropes from VITAS. There's no room for either fighter to really see a proper punch, as VITAS apologises to the officials and they go again. Once again, you just say the Ukrainians edging it slightly, trying to get underneath. That's slightly better though from the Belarusian. Round 1 in the books. Not too much to split them. The Ukrainian, you would feel, has the advantage of what few blows were landed cleanly. He had more of them. Some water taken on in the blue corner. Both the towels working hard to cool down these fighters. It's warm temperatures here in Tbilisi. You just have to say that it was the Ukrainian, though. It was slightly cooler, a little less erratic in his approach in the first round, but a tight one indeed. And we go for round 2. Place in the final on Sunday on offer. The semi-finals day is already entertained here. And the Ukrainian once again trying to be on the front foot and push forward. He's finding it difficult to land those connections. Comes with a straight right. As soon as he goes for that uppercut, that's when the Belarusian starts to fight fire with fire. A word about keeping the head up once again. Once more, they're getting close with each other. Locked up. That left just had the Ukrainian's head knocked back slightly as VITAS found her way through the defences. He's caught, though, by a left of the Ukrainian that fights straight back at him. As soon as one punch lands, maybe a snick on the second, but they get right up next to each other and it slows everything down again. Both these fighters quick enough, fast enough to avoid the worst of the punches. It's all untidy in the corner. That right just catching on the chin from the Ukrainian, able to get up onto the Belarusian opponent. Another tight round though, another round where the two fighters look very evenly matched. Not much to split them. The trouble is there isn't that many efforts that are landing cleanly and finding a way through. And when the fists start flying quickly, they're both almost blocking each other with their punches. Hector just needs perhaps to use that dancing ability to continue to get evasive. Final round on a very finely poised semi-final here in Georgia. Still feel this could go either way. Each fighter trading blows that connect cleanly before they lock once more. It's just been the same way this fight has gone. Swings but misses from the Ukrainian. Good work from the fighter in blue, able to just step away and avoid the worst of the contact. Strong blow round the body there, just catching Hector for a moment. No more shots to the back of the head from VITAS is what the referees are saying there. Just wonder if Hector is trying to be a little bit safe here. Not quite as aggressive. Oh, when he slips down, it's definitely a slip more than anything else. A wild swing that causes him to fall. Still won't do him any favours though on the scorecard. It's going to be a difficult one for the 5 judges to decide who goes through. That's a good left hand as well that comes through, and a right. Lovely combination, in fact, by VITAS there. Now you can see Hector breathing deeply. About 30 seconds to go in this final round. Both fighters just starting to feel the slog. Now the Ukrainian looks to finish with a flurry and go big. Good work again getting inside, a left hand and something after the bell as well, and there is a fair bit of animosity between these two as they finish off round 3. And it's going to be a tough one on the judges' scorecard for who they rule is going to be the victor in that. A very even bout. And a bit of unpleasantness at the end. I'm sure it's all just the heat of the moment more than anything else. DUMINIK Hector takes it on a split decision then. Said it was close, it was very close, but it is Hector who goes into the final then of the flyweight category in the Men's Junior Boxing Championships here in Tbilisi. And as you can see by the scorecard, a very tight bout indeed. Both fighters gave it absolutely everything. Perhaps not the most precise with their striking at times, but as I say, should set themselves up for a grueling final on Sunday. PRIMA BOGDAN, the Russian, comes into the red corner then for the semi-final from the bantamweight 54 kilogram category. BAYRAK TALHA. In the blue corner, the Turkish fighter. 3 2-minute rounds separate these two fighters from a place in the final. Should I say one of these two fighters, because obviously only one will go through from this semi-final. Prima Bogdan, a three-time champion of Russia, European champion once as well. Taking on a fighter that started 5 years in boxing after the Russian. BAYRAK TALHA only began back in 2018 his boxing career, but well, it's gone from strength to strength, and he finds himself just one fight away from the final here in Tbilisi. Three 2-minute rounds. Only one can go through. As we get round one underway then in the semi-final of the 54 kilo category. The Turkish fighter just looking to stay low and get close. Quick right hands though from Prima Bogdan. Fast and very aggressive from both fighters here. Just a look to the official there from the fighter in blue, the Turk, TALHA. I'm not sure what he saw, but it certainly took his eye out of the game for a moment. With strong defensive hands. Again, though, a quick exchange as BAYRAK TALHA was very fast with his combinations here in round one. And you feel that Bogdan just has a bit more physical power in that ring. Very good head movement just to duck and dart away from both of those two very aggressive shots. And the Turk being kept at bay with a forearm there. You'd have to say the defensive movement of the Russian Bogdan, and also the short, sharp blows that he was able to land were impressive in that. Very close fight, though, in the first round between these two. TALHA was aggressive and low and getting in close, and when he did get close enough, it was 1, 2, 3 quick punches all in one go. Not enough of them landing, though. The real problem. So round two, you'd say, was probably edged by the Russian fighter in red. It's a strong right straight down the middle again. It's erratic with them together. It's a pushing and shoving match, and that one was after the referee tried to break them up as well. The Turks' corner very frustrated about that. Lovely wide right hand looping around from the Russian there. He's not throwing that many punches though, trying to use his defensive ability to tire out his man. That's a good left jab. Turkish fighter either wants to be nice and far away from the long, lengthy reach of his opponent, or get down and close and inside. He's doing a good job of that as well. Again, coming forward, doesn't take too many blows as he steps in. Doesn't really land though when he does. It's a good rebuttal from both fighters there. And the gum shield's just come out, which is why the fight is paused for the moment. About 15 seconds to go in round 2. See Bogdan just wanting to step forward as much as possible. And we go again to finish off the round. Only a few seconds remain. Is that breather useful perhaps for the Turkish fighter who's got some energy once again to finish the round? And again he gets in close, and Bogdan just trying to push him away. Goes for a blow underneath. Round 2 is done and dusted. And again, perhaps, I don't know if the defenses were as strong really from the Russian in that round. Certainly feel that TALHA slightly edged it. Again though, it was more the patient shots from Bogdan that when they landed, they were more detrimental to the opponent. The final round getting set and prepared for. Still feels close, still feels like the Russian is edging it though. Need a special final round from the Turkish fighter. It's wild and quick again, much like the first round was from TALHA. Better left, right, and that right was raw around the head. The head guard doing the job. A right hand though comes right onto the chin and onto the mouth guard of the Russian in reply. Goes back to patient, goes back to the fighter in blue, staying as far away as possible until he decides to get close. It's a stray left that pops in the center of the face though from the Russian. Almost punishing him for the insolence of coming in close to him when he's trying to just keep those medium range shots raining down. Bogdan doesn't look as tired. Still looks like he's fairly in control. That's a good left as well to emphasize it. And a right, followed by a left-right combination. The Russian really starting to assert himself. That left hook round the side, what a hit that was. Rocking the head, a right paw over the top as well. Fighter in blue just tiring, the head movement isn't there. It's making those shots easier now for the Russian. Last 10 seconds of the bout. And I think we're going to have PRIMA Bogdan in prime time on Sunday. A formidable fight, but you certainly feel, particularly as that third round went on, that the Russian was in control. In the final of the bantamweight category here from the Men's Junior Boxing Championships here in Georgia. GASIMZADA, MAHAMMADALI. The Azerbaijani European Schoolboys champion, the winner of the Montenegro Cup. As GIRLEANU, Daniel from Romania, will be the man that the Azerbaijani fighter will face in this semi-final. MAHAMMADALI, a very formidable figure in young boxing in Azerbaijan. Hailing from Astara in Azerbaijan. National champion, he's been to the European Championships before. He's been boxing for about 10 years now, the Azerbaijani fighter. While his Romanian opponent, he's been around for a fair bit of time, since 2015, a Romanian champion, and certainly keen to, with a fair bit of backing here in Georgia, book his place in the final. They touch gloves in the centre of the ring. GIRLEANU in the blue. And those bright fluorescent shoes that we've seen already from some of the fighters this afternoon. GASIMZADA in the red. Neither fighter is coming out flying like we've seen in previous fights this afternoon so far. Both staying very patient. Look at the speed and the quick, sharp body movements, just staying on the toes, both of these two at all times. Each one waiting for the other to flinch, to make a move, to open up a opportunity just to try and pop a shot off. And it's the Azerbaijani fighter in red that's just being a little more aggressive in that area, starting to throw a few fists. He gets a couple round the head of the Romanian as well there. And a right hand too to follow up. Yet to really see a shot too much from the Romanian in blue so far. Now he tries to step in, doesn't really get anything clean. That left hand got caught just before it connected with the chin of the opponent. The reply from the Azerbaijani fighter is really clinical. Good shot to the body. Takes one on the chin though as he lent him for a follow-up. Now both fighters starting to trade blows and exchange punches. And again, the Romanian looks just knocked off guard slightly as he's pushed to the outside, and a slow burner to start with, but the first round really started to get exciting as we got towards the bell. I'd have to say, for the clinical nature of the punches, it's the Azerbaijani who certainly seem to be making far better contact once the fists started flying. Just interesting how both of them were just circling each other for the first 30 seconds or so. As I say, 3 2-minute rounds in these semi-finals, as it has been all week here in Georgia, and it's not that much time to try and make a big impact and dominate a fight. We've seen some fighters come out really aggressively already here on semi-finals day. We start throwing punches from the outset. But these two certainly happy to wait and bide their time as round two gets underway. The speed in which both of these two have been able to evade punches in these sorts of moments has been phenomenal. Good body blows there. The arms were guarding the sides though. Didn't connect cleanly, but they were solid from GASIMZADA. Straight left misses. GASIMZADA was then able to fire a little shot off as the head came down from the Romanian. And they go back to the game of cat and mouse. Left hook found a way through, and again the Azerbaijani fighter is just stepping things up slightly. Nothing's really landing for the Romanian right now, and he's certainly feeling the brunt of those blows. The head movement and the last second avoidance of these strong blows from the Romanian. It's really good to see from GASIMZADA. Very impressive indeed in that round. Just took it up another notch with his speed and the punches he was landing. Still rarely connected with. Still close though. GIRLEANU has the support from the Romanians in the stands. They've been calling for him since this fight began. But he might need something a little extra in this final round to see himself into the final. Touch gloves and round 3 of 3 is underway. Haven't seen so far that the Romanian can match the speed of his opponent in red. Every time he throws a big shot, it's the head movement that prevents it from landing. That was a good right, though, as they get up close once again. Tag round the side of the head with the right hand, the Romanian. Again, more shots are ducked away from. Both of these fighters have shown great speed in the way they've been able to read and react and step away from the blows that have come down on them. Swing and a big miss from GASIMZADA. GIRLEANU perhaps needs just to get in a little closer. When he does, that happens though. The head comes down, they clench up. Nothing really comes from it. Both fighters trying to spring on any opportunity that comes available in the last few seconds. And that is round 3 in the books. A really entertaining bout to watch between those two. Technical, tactical, very physical. It seems, however, that the fighter from Azerbaijan has probably just about edged that one. GASIMZADA, I think, is going to see his hand raised and will be taking on the Russian in the final on Sunday of the bantamweight category. And it is the Azerbaijani fighter that takes it 4-1 on a split decision. Well, it was close, and you have to say the Romanian GIRLEANU certainly did his best, and he takes the applause from the crowds as he bows before departing the ring. But there's one more fight to go for GASIMZADA, and that is the final on Sunday. An impressive bout from both. Very entertaining to watch, and both fighters trying to be as clinical as possible with their punches. So we move to the lightweight 60 kilo category, and again we're going to have a hometown boxer from Georgia. DEMUR KAJAIA making his way to the ring and has the full backing of the Olympic Athletics Centre here. And M.ENES KAINAR, the Turkish fighter, steps into the arena in the blue corner. Two very successful fighters in their home nations. KAJAIA, the Georgian, a 3-time national champion. KAINAR, a 3-time champion in Turkey. We are at the Olympic Centre, the volleyball arena. It's been converted into this wonderful boxing arena for the last week or so, and of course with still action to come with the finals all on Sunday here on semi-finals day as well. There's plenty more to come, but KAJAIA, the Georgian, is a big volleyball fan, so perhaps we'll feel even more at home in this arena. KAINAR, the Turkish fighter, a big fan of Canelo, and well, he'll be trying to channel that into his bout in this semi-final. Both EUBC European Schoolboys champions, and now a place in the final on offer as round 1 gets underway. much like the last bout that we saw. It's not a frantic start initially, but now the fists start to fly. Lovely pop with the right hand coming in from the Georgian. But KAJAIA taking one on the chin just there. It's a very fast right hand that the Turkish fighter is showing KAINAR. Both fighters exchanging blows, and that's a lovely counter punch from the Georgian. KAJAIA just caught him after he swung and missed with the right hand. And again, another good couple of counter punches as he steps away from the blows of the Turkish fighter in blue. KAJAIA just caught there from a right hand that found its way through. No follow-up or immediate reply. Very quick to step back, the Georgian, and keep the distance when he wants it in this first round so far. That has a few seconds left. And you would say the fighter in the red corner making his way back confidently has edged that opening round. KAINAR just needs to stop those counter punches from coming. And the way to do that is to make sure he connects with the initial blow. It's a very quick bit of footwork that allows the Georgian to just dart back, though, when he's wanted to. And the Georgian was already up on his feet, ready to go, even before the call for seconds out. Round two can get going here. Can the hometown boy assert some more dominance on this semi-final? It's a nice right hand. Sends the head of the Turkish fighter just popping back. Neat follow-up too. Backing away there, KAINAR. And he's caught on the chin as well. The fans can see it. There's a couple of replies, though, from the Turk. He now looks to go to the body. KAJAIA quick on his feet. Never stop crisscrossing. Flinging a couple of misses there, though, as slightly better defensively from his opponent. Another good left-hand pop comes down the middle. Almost mirroring each other as they stand there in the ring. But the blows aren't mirroring each other. Again, the Georgian just sending his opponent's head rocketing back after each quick pop that comes through. A big swing, and again it's KAJAIA who's able to step away and keep that distance when he wants it. Round two in the books, and you'd say the Georgian has asserted his dominance there. It's at least 3 or 4 times when one or two blows just caught square on the chin of KAINAR. And the Turk certainly didn't enjoy it, and there was very little coming back the other way to really cause a problem for KAJAIA. I'd have to say the red camp looks very cool and relaxed. Both boxers breathing very heavily though in their corners right now. You'd say that's 2 rounds then to the man in red. Round 3 of 3. The corner just needs a wipe before we can get round 3 underway. I've seen a couple of slips down here in the ring. And we go again then. Another lovely left hand that comes straight onto the chin. Not as quick with his head movement there, but again he's almost burrowing his way inside. Keeps the hands up around the head, drops that head nice and low though, fully protected when he gets inside on his opponent. Nothing coming cleanly for either fighter at the moment, but again it's that scurry inside that causes a problem. Stankevic isn't having this his way at all right now. Once again forced backwards to the outside. Caught round the left-hand side of his face with a right straight. The Ukrainian directing and controlling the tempo. Again, he just ups it a little more in the latter part of the round. Into the final few seconds we go. Shot round the body that certainly got through. And again, the Ukrainian, you feel on top of this one right now, as his opponent is looking a little rough around the edges. Stankevic. Sheldake, again more aggressive. Very similar to that first round, really. There haven't been many shots that have really rattled him or moved him away from what he was trying to do. A couple of counter shots maybe in that first round, but aside from that, there's been little response. So round 3 of this semi-final. Round 3 for one of these fighters to book themselves in the 60-kilo category final on Sunday. And at the moment, there's only one fighter that's going there. Nothing really coming from the couple of punches that were so far away and making so little contact with the forehead of the Ukrainian. That's better from the Belarusian. Stankevic, though, face an instant rebuttal once again. Defensive hands have been very good. Another good right hand pop, just sends the Belarusian fighter's head back slightly as he's forced back again. Again, that's the opportunity for the Ukrainian to get more aggressive. Straight right hand gets all the way through. He's just getting the standing count for a moment there because he was certainly rattled. And the shots aren't connecting at all. It's one-way traffic now. BOGDAN Shelduk taking control, almost lifting him and throwing him all over the place there. There's only a second to go. That's it. It will be surely the Ukrainian in the final, barring a miraculous turnaround on the judge's decision. Perhaps the surprise run, should we say, of this EUBC European Boxing Championships is coming to an end as KIRYL Stankovich, who made his big impact in the round of 16 with that impressive victory, has seen his journey just come to an end. And it is Shelduk who will be in the final on Sunday. A very complete performance. And a unanimous decision. And an excellent performance sees him through to Sunday. So now on to the welterweight category here in Georgia. A chance to see a Ukrainian taking on a Hungarian in the first of the two semi-finals here on semi-final Friday from the Olympic Center in Tbilisi, Georgia. AYVAZYAN, the Ukrainian, comes to the ring. A spring in his step for sure. As he gets to take on M.ENES Levente. The Hungarian fighter has won 2 national championships. Perhaps not dancing his way to the ring like his opponent. But we're still waiting to make his way into the ring. The Ukrainian who's been boxing since he was 6 years old, according to his coaches. A fighter that's certainly been around in the Ukraine throughout his junior career, a 4-time champion, as I say, in his home nation. He'll be looking to make an impression. Here's Levente Hemes, the Hungarian. The only Hungarian that we're going to see in the afternoon session of the semi-finals in the men's category. Not too much to split them in terms of the height. Last stretch from the Hungarian. And round one begins. Ukrainian southpaw. How much does that cause a problem for his opponent? He's finding a way around. With that right hand, the fighter in red. It's an immediate reply, though, already in the early going from M.ENES. Shoved into the ropes and then almost using his momentum to spring back into his opponent as the referee says no to Olehichva, and his approach in that almost a pushing match rather than a boxing match for a moment. And the Ukrainian not liking the arrogance of the Hungarian there. I'd certainly say the fighter in red is having the better of it. But every time, every so often, there's just a nice straight right that comes through, and there's certainly something for the Ukrainian to think about. Not a very even fight at the moment. Right hands over the top. And that right hand is causing a problem for the fighter in red. Hichva caught just right at the end of that opening round. M.ENES perhaps just having a slight advantage in the final few moments. Very little between them. It was a brighter start, though, from the Ukrainian. Have to remember the round as a complete round as opposed to how it finished. Fairly equal and all to play for after the opening exchange, though. And two fighters that are both looking for their best international campaign results in this Junior Boxing Championships, and both of them will fancy themselves to have an opportunity to go to this final, judging how round one has gone for each of them. Good left, right left, should I say, from the Ukrainian. In close, the Hungarian looks better. But that middle distance, the Ukrainian just has the edge. And he walked onto that left hand. Almost leant straight into it as the Hungarian was at full stretch. Now they start to trade blows, and a solid right hand rattles the chin. It's a little wild at times, but they're both connecting. There's a fair few Hungarian fans in here. They're just starting to enjoy this as the fists are wild, but again, that right hand coming around is a problem. That's a nasty one though, down low, and I think it's just caught him actually in the groin there. M.ENES just caught in a rather uncomfortable place by a stray left from his opponent. He's going to have to continue, as will Hichva use that to be more aggressive. Oh, and he staggered back there, the Hungarian. And that back foot just had to come out a little bit further as he took another final blow at the end of that round. And the Ukrainian is just asserting his dominance a little more powerful with his punches. And they're trying to keep the Hungarian on his feet in the corner, Levente Gemez. Really was uncomfortable with that blow that just caught him. It looked like a body blow, but I do think he was just caught in a rather unpleasant place just below that, accidentally. As we get set for the final round of this semi-final. The Ukrainian Ole Hichva in a fairly solid position after the first two rounds, you'd feel. And they're starting connecting once again in round three. Well, it just turned into a wrestling match there with the Hungarian rolling him over. Starting to win that outside now, the fighter in red, quite confidently. The Hungarian trying desperately to get away from that clench and just get back to throwing some punches. Another swing and a miss. It's rather untidy looking now from the fighter in blue. Hichva happy to wait, happy to be patient, happy to be in control with about 15 seconds to go. I think he feels that he has asserted himself well. Last 10 of the final round of the semi-final. It's all over. I think you can tell because there's a fair few Hungarians in the crowd, but there's not exactly a roaring cheer at the final bell. And Ole Hichva, I imagine, is going to be having his hand raised. There's already a wry smile as well on the boxer in red. And Hichva, rightly so, sent into the final of the welterweight category for Sunday. His journey continues. Levente Gemez Well, his journey is all over here in Georgia. There's probably still more to come, though, in Hungary for him. But the Ukrainian southpaw fairly dominant through the second and third rounds. And he now just waits to see who his opponent will be. The second semi-final then, from the welterweight category, the 66 kilo. KAJAIA, the Russian. Comes into the red corner. Takes on Mehman Namazov, the Georgian fighter, fighting out of the blue corner. Namazov, a national champion here in Georgia, idolizes Mike Tyson. Let's hope he can replicate something of the great Mike Tyson's boxing in this, although it seems unlikely. KAJAIA, the Russian, describes his hobbies as being boxing. That tells you how determined and probably how focused he is coming into this semi-final. But what an opportunity for the Georgian fighter and his home nation to put himself in the final. The EUBC Junior Boxing Championships here in Tbilisi. And semi-finals day has provided plenty of entertainment already. And there's more to come from this semi-final of the welterweight category, the second semi-final, and the Georgian immediately rushing in and trying to be the aggressor against the Russian. The Russian in red. KAJAIA a little more static. Oh, that's a wonderful aggression as KAJAIA is caught on the ropes. Namazov really fiery in this first round. A quick look to the corner after the Russian is told off for spinning and turning away. Always looking to his corner already, whenever there's a moment, just to get some advice, try and take on the information they're looking to give him. Slightly erratic and wild at times. He continues to look over to his coaching staff here. It's the Georgian fighter in blue, gets the backing of the crowd now. 3/4 of the way through this first round. Haven't seen too much from the Russian to really cause a problem. Last 10 seconds of the round. I have to say, after the slightly wild start from the fighter in blue, the Russian's done very well to just compose himself and weather the early storm. I think you can tell the judges' scorecard just from the reaction that the crowd have given you there. Namazov just edging that first round at the moment. You have to applaud the aggression. It certainly has shown plenty of desire. Just needs to be a little more controlled and connect a little cleaner. But as I say, he's not faced much in reply. Eduard Mardanov just giving out the last bit of coaching to his fighter. Now, is it as exciting and explosive as the start of the first from the Georgian? Well, it very much is. Just bull rushing his way forward and swinging the fists. Another accidental, according to Guram Gaziev. Little shot there just as the referee was having a word. They both end up tussled up and spinning around. Still not much landing from either fighter. Still, it's just a little bit wild as they knock together once again. And the Russian seemingly having enough of it with the way he shoved away his opponent. There's a slight tag there from the right hand of the Georgian this time that's a little late. Infrequent bursts of aggression and punches, with then the static nature of these two almost falling into each other a lot of the time. And the Russian trying to find a way to target an opponent that is moving so much and very difficult. Another word about a sly hand coming around the side. That's better from the Georgian. And the crowd really responded to that, at least here. Round two's in the books, and you might say that that late flurry just edged it once more. Namazov, with this peculiar approach to this fight, to say the least. But it seems to be working. I do feel the Russian had had enough in that second round. Was done with the idea of this bull rushing, frantic nature of his opponent. Gaziev on his feet, ready to go already. Round three, a bout that hangs in the balance. And we are underway in round three. And the Georgian trying to start where he left off round two. And he has the support buoying him in this arena, and a couple of punches land as well. It's a better start. It's probably the best start he's had to a round so far. Left hand gets a tag on the right cheek. Namazov is getting better connection with the punches in the third round at the moment. And it's he that's predominantly throwing them. Another untidy few seconds. Fits and spurts this round. Right hand connects around the back of the head. And gum shields out. With about 40 seconds to go in this final round. Mehman Namazov has probably just about edged it at the moment in blue. He gets a slap from his trainer before the final 40 seconds get underway. And we go for the last bit of round 3. A nice body blow into the Georgian. What has the Russian got left in the locker with the final 30 seconds or so? Not much, as he takes one round the side of the head with a strong right hand. The onslaught continues from Namazov, who's barely drained, you have to say, across the 3 rounds so far. Still keeping up the pressure, still relentless, still the same energy again. As they both start to trade blows now, a gum shield I think has just come out. And it has. And they need to go back to the corners for a moment to get the gum shields put in. Well, there's only 2 seconds left by my watch here in round 3. They might not even have a chance to get close to each other. Not sure the fighters know that. And the last 2 seconds finish with a flurry, and they were both swinging after the bell. The home fans think they've seen their countryman book his place in the final. There's a little fist clench there. The Russian trying to convince perhaps this arena and himself that he should be going through. As we wait for the decision. And it is Namazov who goes through 4-1 on a split decision. Not that you needed to be told that, the way this place has just reacted. You can understand why some might give it to the Russian. Stood his ground, stayed composed. It was wild from the Georgian, but this arena got what they wanted. And that is a Georgian in the final of the welterweight category. You'll have to wait till Sunday to see what medal he takes home. We won't have to wait too long for more action here as the middleweight bouts are set to get underway in just a moment here on semi-final Friday from the EUBC Junior European Boxing Championships here in Tbilisi, Georgia. So Mustafa Halil Dogru comes to the ring here at Ring B inside the Georgian Olympic Center. The Turkish fighter will be taking on Alexei Stepanov, the Ukrainian boxer who's been fighting since he was 8 years old. First place in the schoolboy championships did the Ukrainian, taking on a Turkish fighter that's a 3-time Turkish champion. The Ukrainian a 4-time champion in his home nation. Interesting, when we were talking to Dogru before this bout, that he says he, as his hobbies, likes to do his boxing training, which is interesting because if that's your hobby and you're willing to put that extra effort into it because you see it as a hobby more than anything else, it's generally a good sign that you're enjoying your fighting. And if you're enjoying your fighting, it's a sign that you're probably doing quite well at it as well. So a middleweight final is on offer for these two fighters. Last wipe of the face for Alexei Stepanov. And we finally get the bout underway, the semi-final of the middleweight 75 kilo category. And the Turkish fighter Dogru in the red corner, the Ukrainian Stepanov in the blue. Nice right hand from the Turkish boxer, just catching the Ukrainian on the chin. And another one. And then just caught on the chin himself, the fighter in red, and takes a right hand round the side of the head as well. I was just about to say that his head movement had been good in the first minute or so of this first round, but then he takes two on the chin. Slightly untidy left. He did make an impression on his opponent. Neither fighter really asserting too much dominance at the moment. Slightly wild lunge forward from the Ukrainian there. He's better with his darting head movement back to avoid those final few shots of his opponent. Tough one to call, that opening round. Maybe Alexei Stepanov just seeing the better of the defensive work, but perhaps because he had to do more of it, he could give it to the Turkish fighter Dogru. Finely balanced though to start the semi-final, and Both fighters have shown a wide array of approaches already in that first round. Both have tried to get in close. And both have also tried to keep their distance for moments. As round two gets underway, who can be more assertive? Who can take the control? Wild swings once again from the Ukrainian that were way over the head at times of Doru, as Stepanov feeling he had to get a bit more aggressive. Doru a bit more calm. Happy to take the steps back and then wait for his moment to strike in this second round so far. Nice straight that just found a way through. Again, the Turk just seems a little more composed in when he chooses his moments in this second round. Right hand as well, just connects on the chin. Even though he's been forced back, he seems okay with it. Just evading the body blows. Again, another even round. I'd probably say that the fighter heading off to the red corner, Doru, has just probably deserved more once again to edge it on the scorecard. Although, I guess the aggression and the added physicality at times of Alexei Stepanov is certainly something that shows promise for him. Again, it's tough to really split either of them. Neither fighter has seen a really clean connection on the way through. So we get round two out of the way, and the deciding round three is where surely one of these fighters is going to ensure that they find a way to the final on Sunday. And that is more aggressive, with a little more style as well from Stepanov. The Ukrainian voices in the crowd are just starting to raise a little more now. Throwing almost the same punches at the same time for just a moment there. And that added aggression from the fighter in blue is just starting to make him look more prominent in this third round. Slightly uncontrolled at times, but there's very little coming back from the Turkish fighter. He does look leaner, less of a stocky build compared to his opponent. Nice body blow as the Ukrainian ducks away underneath and then fires with a right hand. Stepanov is certainly looking at his best of the 3 rounds that we've seen so far. Again, just moving his opponent around the ring where he wants. Nearly walked onto a big right hand there, but he comes back with a left. And it'll be a standing count just to check that the Turkish fighter is okay. It was a big left that caught him right square in the face, and he catches him as well. A strong third round though from the Ukrainian. Very strong indeed. And he's grown in strength throughout that fight. The standing count will certainly help sway the judges, although you have to give credit. Dogru had the immediate reply out of that standing count. And we wait for the official ruling from the judges. And it is a unanimous decision. And the Ukrainian is through to the middleweight final on Sunday. And after a slow build, it began a little rough around the edges. He finishes his work in impressive fashion indeed. Big hug from his coaches too. And he now will have an afternoon to rest, an evening to enjoy our evening bouts here in Georgia, and then a day off tomorrow before preparing to go for the gold on Sunday. So the second semi-final of the middleweight category, the 75 kilo fighters. Mirko Sarcevic, the Montenegrin fighter, comes to the red corner. MAHAMMADALI, the Armenian boxer, he will be his opponent. Sarcevic, who is the winner of the Montenegro Cup, taking on a champion in Armenia. Sarcevic with 1 year less of experience in the ring compared to his opponent. Started boxing very specifically on the 1st of February 2018. As we were told by his coaching staff, MAHAMMADALI started boxing back in 2017, so probably not too much to split them in terms of their experience in their careers. Sarcevic, a keen swimmer in his spare time. Well, it's sink or swim now in the semi-final. A chance to go for the big prize of $4,000 US, and of course the honor of taking gold at the Junior European Boxing Championships. Round 1 of 3, 2 minutes. And the southpaw in the red corner. Able to get round with the right and follow up with a neat left. All about getting outside with that leading hand. Who can take control? Little jab to the body. And follows up as his opponent ducks away with that straight left. Nice quick combination, a left and a right, and the right certainly caught round the side of the head. Wasn't a lot of power in it, but it's just something to be aware of as the Armenian is being controlled right now by the Montenegrin. And there are a lot of shots that are getting through. They're just lacking a bit of venom, but the punches are draining. At the moment, it's one-way traffic for the fighter in red. Another good shot with the right hand. This is really good work indeed. Now the Montenegrin misses and is suddenly on the back foot and takes a right hand down the centre. Sarcevic just out of control for the first time really in the final 30 seconds of this first round. And then he takes a shot with the right hand and another one that follows up as well as they get close. A better finish from ARSTAMYAN than he started and has been in the large part of this round. He takes a left as well, straight down Main Street. And a strong finish from Sarcevic to finish off the round, and he will go back to that red corner and feel he's done enough to take that first round. Certainly was in control for long periods. The opening minute and a half really of the two. It was only in the final 30 seconds his opponent started to come back and claw back. Certainly seems to be a bit more going on in the blue corner at the moment. ARSTAMYAN needs to start well in this second round, you feel. So have the adjustments been made? That is a brighter start from the boxer in blue. Couple land on the chin of the Armenian. Just being warned about the forearm there. It's not as assertive for Sarcevic as the opening round was. The Armenians' corner, ARSTAMYAN's corner, just being asked to calm down a little bit by some of the officials at ringside. They've been very vocal and up on their feet for large periods of this so far. Another left hand gets straight through. Couple of misses as ARSTAMYAN tries to lean in. Final few seconds of the second round to go. Closer round than the first, you feel. Could go either way. The dominance that the fighter in the red corner, Sarcevic, had just seemed to drain away. A nice recovery from ARSTAMYAN to assert himself more in this fight. It's just some of those very easy straight left and rights that have come from Sarcevic that have certainly bludgeoned the face of his opponent, and Damian, without ever looking too badly hurt from it, hasn't had anything in the way of a reply. It's round 3, the final round gets going. There's still everything to fight for between these two in this final round, but you feel it needs to be more dominant and really dominant from Damian if he is to come back and find a way into the final. Damian being warned about the leg. And then he takes a blow on the chin with a right hand. Nothing clean coming for the Armenian. A couple of nice shots though for the Montenegrin. Slight desperation now from Damian. Sarcevic still looking to stay on his toes, keep some distance, keep just the straight hands coming through. They're both looking a little tired as well at times. Oh, a couple of very good shots that rattle the chin. And again, Damian needs to use this momentum. Under a minute to go in the final round. Under a minute to see yourself book a spot in the final. But momentum has just been taken away. Nice tag with the right hand around the outside again. There wasn't a follow-up this time though, unlike we've seen on a number of occasions. There's time just running out for Damian here. Been better as the fight's gone on, the Armenian, but Sarcevic I think might have just claimed that. His corner seemed to think so with their reaction. Certainly was the brighter of the two fighters at the start. Less so in the second round. And the third round, I think he's just done enough more than anything else. And Damian waits. That doesn't necessarily look confident, unlike his opponent. And it is Sarcevic who goes through on split decision, 4-1. Credit to his opponent, Damian, who came back after a difficult opening round and really tried to make a good fist of it. And grew stronger and took the third round, you'd probably feel, but Sarcevic books his place in the middleweight final. And the last two bouts are the two semi-finals from our afternoon session here in Tbilisi from the heavyweight category. So the first of the heavyweight semi-finals starts with the Georgian KIRYL Sharikadze, European schoolboys champion, and a fighter that was utterly dominant in his round of 16 action earlier in the competition. While the Russian Ahmed Rusev will be his opponent. Two big boys, two fighters ready to trade blows. Sherikadze, the Georgian, a three-time champion of Georgia, taking on the 2019 and 2021 Russian champion in ROGOZIN. The main eventers of the afternoon session. RASUEV, a Mike Tyson fan. Hobbies include boxing, apparently. Sherikadze, a fighter who's already shown some phenomenal power in this competition already. Can he repeat that once again? Two Tyson fans get set to go blow for blow. And the home contingent is ready to roar on their man. Both fighters quick to the middle and both quick to start trading the punches. And you can see Sherikadze is already looking for a devastating right hand wherever he can. This is fast for two big fighters. And at the moment, it is the Russian that is landing the cleaner of the punches. There's a few that have got around the head already. Sherikadze just being kept at bay, kept away. The slightly more mobile Ahmed RASUEV able to keep some distance, duck and dive, and a wonderful move there to evade the danger. What Sherikadze can't do is punch himself out early on. The Russian looks leaner, meaner. And already Sherikadze is looking a little more worse for wear and tired than his opponent. A slight stumble back as he looks to recover. Another couple of punches down on the face. And the Russian is doing a really good job of stepping to the side and evading those lunges forward. This is a bit of a clinic at the moment. Sherikadze just can't connect. Left hand finds a way through. He's got to find something else though. He just keeps looking for the big right. Whereas the array of punches from RASUEV, far more impressive. Left hand right, there's a hook. And the Russian looks good to start. Very good indeed. And there might be some hearts getting broken if something doesn't change. Just looks fitter, better. The home fans try to get their boxer on his feet and ready to go once again. He's almost trying to run out from the corner. And we get round two underway. What does Sherikadze have to reply to a very strong round from RASUEV? And he gets that right. That's the right he's constantly looking for. Just needs to perhaps try and hide it better. When he does come in with the left, it's not as confident, and that's where he's getting tagged by that left jab or right that comes in. And those stabs with the right again, just draining the Georgian. It's all about keeping the distance in this round at the moment from Ahmed ARSTAMYAN. The Russian keeping his opponent away. Has him again flailing slightly and stumbling slightly as he grows tired once more. Too easy to step away. Tactics have to change for the Georgian. Tries to go a little straighter with the right, but again he's getting caught time and time again. You can see how red he is in the face because he's panting and because the number of times he's been caught. And they're not big punches, but if you keep getting tagged slightly and then you're stepping and moving and swinging at nothing. And look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4 shots missed by Sherikadze. Four years of boxing so far for the Georgian athlete, compared to 5 of ARSTAMYAN. Wonder if maybe the experience is coming into play as well. Another round that the Russian has surely taken there. Really smart in his approach to this one, as he has a discussion with his corner once again. Round 3, final round for the Georgian to muster something special. And he might get wild and reckless, but he may need to get wild and reckless to finish this one off. Again goes looking for that huge right hand. Again it comes up, hitting air, and he gets tagged. ARSTAMYAN, it's a clinic. It's confident, it's calm, it's composed. It's a sign to everybody else left in this competition as well that you can't just come swinging out at this Russian. He has the ability and the movement to evade and get away. You've got to be smarter than that. One minute to go in this final round. There's almost no need for him to throw any big punches. ARSTAMYAN, he's told to keep his head up. It's a nice hit, but it's not going to be enough. Even the Russian looks a little tired now after staying on his feet and staying springy, but still he's able to step away. Sherikadze caught again. It's been a really tough 3 rounds this, with only about a few seconds to go. He's worked really hard. He's tried to keep the energy levels going, but I think it's going to be a result for the Russian rather than the Georgian contingent celebrating. a champion of Europe in Sherikadze, but that looked like a one-sided fight from the word go in the end. Impressive to keep going. But you can see that left eye is wounded slightly. And the Russian looks far fitter as he goes to the middle of the ring for the result. Unanimous decision. ARSTAMYAN. There was never any doubt really when you saw the way he approached that. And he goes into the final of the men's heavyweight boxing that we will have for you on Sunday here from Tbilisi, Georgia. An easy decision really for the judges. Frustration for the Georgian home fans in the end. One last semi-final to come then. A Ukrainian or a Croatian will be in the final of the men's heavyweight boxing. And they will have both been in the wings, so I'm not sure if they'll have been watching this or not. I'm sure there'll be somebody who'll have tape of it to analyse what has just happened between ARSTAMYAN and Tariel Sherikadze. And so we have that second semi-final for you now. Alexander Zelensky, the Ukrainian, very tall, very reachy. And looking to reach up and reach himself into the final. Lovro Pacic of Croatia. The opponent, and certainly a stockier frame. Very interesting that we've just seen in that first semi-final a slightly stockier opponent against a taller, slightly leaner figure of the Russian who ended up winning. Will we see the same result with Zelensky and Pacic? I'm sure there are plenty of Croatian fans out there who do not want the same result to happen. Pacic in the blue corner then. Another one of these heavyweights who is a huge Mike Tyson fan. A national champion, a silver medalist in the European Championship. And taking on the 2021 champion of the Ukraine in all red, coming out of the red corner. So our final bout of the afternoon session begins. The semi-final of the heavyweight category is underway, and you can see straight away that Pacic looking to stay close and rain down the shots. And it will be the reach of his opponent and perhaps the agility that the Ukrainian will be looking to utilize throughout these 3 2-minute rounds. This will frustrate the fighter all in red. Zelensky wants to have a bit of distance, and you see Pacic getting in close again. But it's not doing too much damage. Nice straight right. The Croatians team applauded as well. They liked it. They liked that one too. Good bloody blow there by the Ukrainian. Zelensky getting down right into the side of his opponent. Final few seconds of this first round. Not many shots landed by either fighter that have been too clean. On the front foot, you'd have to say, the Croatian. But the Ukrainian has weathered a fair bit of the battle and started to certainly get a few more cleaner pieces of connection with his opponent as that first round went on. Very even in the opening exchange. So what have been the changes from the corners to the approach from the first round? Just a last word from the officials with Zelensky as Pacic comes out aggressively and close. The Croatian once again trying to get inside. Zelensky trying to get a shot off just as he steps in. Trying to see him walk on to one of those very fast right or left hands that he's got. It's a nice uppercut. A couple of good blows now. The Ukrainian starts to assert himself more. Again, the approach of the Croatian will slow down and frustrate his opponent. That is why I think Zelensky's looking to now just fire those shots underneath when the opposition comes forward. A bit of swing low down towards the gut. Nice pop that has the head knocked back slightly. You have to say, in fairness to Pacic, it's a good defence at times. He's kept those hands up and firm and hard to break down. It's a good right hand as he springs with a counter punch, but in the clinch getting frustrated and facing one last body blow, and the Croatian team quick to get to the corner. You have to say that the Ukrainian really started to assert himself on this fight in that round. It's just a small pocket of Croatians in the stands here, trying to urge Lovro Pacic on. Just needs to do a little bit more, though, does Pacic in this final round. Certainly a fight that he's still well and truly in. Hasn't actually thrown that many punches. So we get round 3 underway. Zelensky going low again. Looked maybe a little low, and I think the Croatians team felt that. Nice uppercut, getting down and underneath once again. If the Ukrainian is through to the final on Sunday, it's going to be two fighters with a fairly similar style, similar build. All a bit untidy on that top side of the ring. As we get to the final minute or so of this bout, not much to split these two. You feel the Ukrainian just being more measured and more timely when he decides to throw the gloves towards his opponent. Something big needs to happen now for VIACHESLAV to try and turn the tide. It's been a valiant effort in his approach and his method. It's been the right idea against this sort of opponent. Just not quite come off. He hasn't been able to land a big blow. Last 10 seconds. Now VIACHESLAV might just try and go ultra aggressive, leave it all on the line. Is there one last volley? There isn't. The Croatian looks tired. The Ukrainian looks confident. Alexander Zelensky will surely in that red corner feel that he's done just about enough, but a far more even bout than perhaps some expected. Such differing styles and approaches from these two fighters. Will the Croatians in the stands be happy? Let's get the announcement. And it is Alexander Zelensky who goes through unanimous decision to the heavyweight final on Sunday and brings an end to our afternoon of action from Ring B here at the EUBC Junior European Boxing Championships. Fantastic afternoon of boxing, and more to come in about half an hour or so in the evening session. Until then, it's goodbye for now.